You know that feeling, right? Staring at a blank page, that blinking cursor just mocking you? Well, what if I told you that every great essay, from a simple book report all the way to a complex research paper, is built on the exact same simple foundation? It's a universal blueprint, and we're about to crack it wide open.
So what's the big secret? It all comes down to the number 3. That's it. Just 3 fundamental parts. Once you master these, you can write with so much more clarity and confidence, no matter what the topic is. Let's break this blueprint down.
All right, here's our game plan for today. We're going to start with that universal blueprint. Then we'll dive into how to hook your reader right from the start, how to build a rock-solid argument, how to nail the strong finish, and finally, how to polish your work so it really shines. Let's get into it. Okay, let's look at that blueprint. And really, this isn't just a friendly suggestion. It's the core architecture behind pretty much all effective writing. Getting this structure right is the absolute first and most important step.
And here it is, the big 3. The introduction, the body paragraphs, and the conclusion. Looks simple, right? Because it is. This structure works so well because it acts like a guide, logically leading your reader from your main idea through all your evidence and right to your final point. It's a time-tested framework for any kind of essay you can think of.
Now, let's zoom in on that first part, the introduction. This is your handshake, your first impression, and it does way more than just kick things off. It actually makes a promise to your reader about what's to come.
So, a strong intro really has 3 critical jobs. First, you've got to hook them, get their attention right away. Second, you need to give just enough background information so they know what you're talking about. And third, and this is by far the most important piece, you have to present a crystal clear thesis statement. And let's be super clear about this. Your thesis isn't just a sentence in your essay. It is the single most important sentence in the entire thing. It's the engine that powers everything else you're about to write. So what is it exactly? Well, your thesis is your main argument, your central claim, all boiled down into one powerful sentence. It's the roadmap that tells your reader, hey, this is exactly what I'm going to prove to you. Every single word that follows has one job, to support that statement.
Okay, so you've made your big promise with that thesis. Now it's time to deliver. And that brings us to the body paragraphs. This is where the magic happens. It's where you build your case and prove your point, piece by piece, brick by brick.
Now here's a fantastic little mental trick that makes writing so much easier. Don't think of the body as one giant, intimidating section. Instead, just think of each individual paragraph as its own mini essay. This one shift in perspective makes the whole process way more manageable.
And each one of those little mini-essays follows the same simple 4-step structure. You start with a topic sentence, that's your paragraph's main point. Then you provide your evidence, a fact, a quote, a statistic. After that, you explain how that evidence proves your point, you connect the dots for the reader. And finally, you wrap it all up with a closing sentence. That's the formula, every single time.
All right, you've hooked your reader, you've built a solid case. Now it is time to stick the landing. A strong conclusion is your last chance to hammer your point home and leave a real, lasting impression. You've got to finish strong.
Now, conclusions have some pretty clear rules. You do want to restate your thesis, but in a fresh way. You do want to briefly summarize your main points, and you definitely do want to leave the reader with a final, powerful thought. But the biggest don't, the number 1 rule, never ever introduce new information or arguments. The conclusion is for wrapping up, not for opening up new cans of worms.
So the structure's solid, the arguments are there, but we're not quite done. This final step, the polishing, is what takes a good essay and turns it into a great one. Let's go over those all-important final touches.
Here is your final checklist for getting that polish just right. Keep your sentences clear and direct. Use transition words so your reader can follow your train of thought without getting lost. And most importantly, reread your work with one single question in mind. Does every single paragraph in this essay support my thesis? If the answer is no, it's time to cut.
And finally, let's be real, presentation matters. If you're using MLA format, for example, these are the key rules to follow. I know it can seem like small stuff, Times New Roman, size 12, double spacing, but this kind of clean, professional formatting shows that you respect your own work and, more importantly, that you respect your reader's time.
So there you have it, the universal blueprint, all the way from the first sentence to the final formatting details. The structure isn't a mystery anymore, is it? It's a tool. It's your tool. So the only question left is, what powerful idea are you going to explain first?